All right, I just wanted to make a quick video about Angela Unstoppable Lee. Coach is big on her, so I just wanted to kind of go over Angela Lee's career a little bit, and just to try to, I guess, in my opinion, try to be a little bit realistic about how good she is. Now she's got 8 wins. She's beating everybody, and that's great. My big issue with Angela Lee is she's not really fighting anybody, and that's kind of my biggest problem with her. I know she's 21, and people like to say she's got a lot of room to grow, and that may be true. But what bothers me the most is this stat. Okay, now her fight against May Yamaguchi, that went to decision. She couldn't get May out of there. She couldn't submit her. She did enough to win, barely. But you see, she's got 1 KO victory, and that was against Jenny Huang, who really, I mean, come on, man. That's not really comp. And then you see she's got 6 submissions. And my issue with that is, yeah, you're winning. Like, you win fights with submissions. Sure, that's an option. But when a person wins so many, such a high percentage of their fights with submissions, that really is alarming to me, because in this case with Angela Lee, it reminds me of another person you'll remember who won a lot of fights by submission, and that was Ronda Rousey. Now, as soon as Ronda Rousey fought somebody who wasn't a one-dimensional fighter, we all know what happened. And that's because Ronda herself was very one-dimensional. She wasn't a striker. She had that little judo background, and she'd get you in a little arm bar. But if you had any real skills, she couldn't do anything with you. And we've seen that. So when you look at Angela Lee, and you go down through her history, you see she's fought people you've never heard of. Okay? And I'm not saying that for a person who's a casual fan. I'm saying that for somebody who is a fan and actually follows things. You don't know who the hell Rebecca Heinzman is. Okay, she beat her with a submission. Jenny Huang TKO, in the 3rd round. So it wasn't like she outpowered her, just beat her down in the 1st round. No, she beat her in the 3rd round. Took 3 rounds to get her out of there. The rest of these people names, okay, maybe you've heard of Lena Thorevska. I'm sorry. She submitted her. I expected that to be more of a fight than it was. But May Yamaguchi, she's a veteran and all that. But the issue I had was when Coach was saying, about Angela Lee, anybody I've seen her fight, she took him to the ground and she submitted him. When she didn't submit May Yamaguchi, and what happened was Coach said that she could submit, if she took Claudia Gadelha down, she would submit her. Claudia would be in trouble. I don't believe that for 1 second. May Yamaguchi is nowhere near as good a fighter as Claudia Gadelha. Number 1, I don't believe that Angela Lee could even get Claudia down. And number 2, I believe she'd be knocked out well before she ever even got close to challenging Claudia on any level. And I'm not just speaking for now. I mean, even in the future, she's only so big. She's not particularly strong, and she's very one-dimensional. She has submissions. If she can't submit you, she can't win. And the thing is, she's not going to be able to submit people who are like a I'm not even going to say a complete fighter, like a Valentina Shevchenko or Amanda Nunes. You don't even have to be a complete fighter. If you're just a decent fighter, you have a decent wrestling background, you have a decent striking ability, I believe you are a serious challenge for Angela Lee, because she cannot do anything. She can't strike. She doesn't particularly have great defense. She'd get knocked out. If she was in the UFC right now, she would be on the border of getting booted out of the organization, because she could not really challenge anybody. I think the top 10, I'm really having a hard time seeing her beating anybody in the top 10. Now, she has a TKO victory, round 1, as an amateur against Jada Pereira. Pereira, well, whatever. The bottom line is, you remember Jada Pereira you won't remember her from anywhere, because you never heard of her. This is what I'm talking about. These people, you've never heard of them, and I mean, May Yamaguchi is the highlight of her career, and that was a decision. Now, May, you know, she's a veteran and all that. She's never been stopped. She's never been submitted. But May also, I'm not going to say she's not good, but, you know, come on, man. I don't think May could beat anybody in the top 10, you know, unless they were having an off day. So for Angela to, like, for May Yamaguchi to be the real highlight of her whole career, that's not really saying a lot for Angela Lee. And while she might have potential to go on and do something in the future, if she doesn't improve her head movement, if she doesn't learn how to strike a lot better, and if she doesn't get a lot stronger, she better off just stay in one championship where she can just, you know, take it easy fighting these cans, because the reality is in the UFC, she would get her ass whooped. And that's just the reality of it, folks. I'm not really trying to sugarcoat it. The fact is, Angela Unstoppable Lee is only unstoppable because of the quality of the people she's fighting. That's my opinion. If you believe something otherwise, that's fine as well. But like I said, when so many of your victories come by submission, okay, when you run into somebody who they also are good at submissions, you know, they got a great ground game, they got some defense, they can strike, they can move, it's game over for somebody like Angela Lee, you know. And to go back to the whole Ronda Rousey bit, Ronda Rousey was fighting people who were MMA, what I like to call like WMMA 1.0. These are the originals, you know. Sarah McMahon, these people, you know. I got a background in wrestling, I got a background in kickboxing, whatever. I specialize in one thing, okay. And Ronda came in, and I said, I'll give her credit, she was like WMMA 1.5, you know. So she's whooping ass out of these people, beating these people to death, you know, real quick submissions. Not really beating, I mean, she's winning, but she's submitting them. She didn't out wrestle anybody, she didn't knock anybody out, she was just submitting them real quick. And you got to give her credit, because a win's a win. But now you come in and you fight Holly Holm. See, she's great striker, she's got the kicks, no ground game, but we never saw Ronda show a ground game, really, so it's not really saying anything. The point is, Holly Holm was like WMMA 2.0. This is a different dimension, and it was more than Ronda could handle. Whether or not she would ever be able to fight somebody like that, I doubt it, but I mean, possibly. But I mean, you know, people like Sarah McMahon and stuff, they're yesterday. They're not the future. It doesn't matter where they're ranked right now. The game has passed them by, and you know, and they're pretty much close to retirement. And you know, they're on their way out. That's just the reality of it. So when you look at a fighter who, like Angela Lee right now, you do one thing well, okay? If you're gonna have a career, if you're going to have a future, and you're going to move beyond one championship, you need to do a whole lot more than just be able to submit people. And being able to TKO somebody like Jenny Huang in the third round of a fight, that's not impressive at all to me. I mean, you know, we can sit here and get excited about upcoming prospects, but my thing is, would she even be an upcoming prospect if she was in the UFC right now? You know, we got Alexa Grasso in the UFC right now. Okay, Alexa had a loss to Felice Herrig. I didn't expect that. I don't really think highly of Felice. I mean, I'm not saying she's a bum really, but you know, she's not somebody who's going to be fighting for a belt anytime soon, or ever, and she's never going to be champion. Angela Lee, if you considered Angela Lee right now being in the UFC, what do you think her career would look like? Do you think she'd still be 8-0 against the strawweight talent that's out there? I personally don't. She's not getting past Claudia Gadelha. Let's not even mention Claudia Gadelha. Come on. Let's not even go there. She's not getting past Angela Hill. She's not getting past Rose Namajunas. Okay? Paige Van Zandt. I mean, let's see how she would do against her. Like, I'm sorry, but Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, these people would kill her. I mean, she would get annihilated because she has one specialty, and she's not going to pull that off on them. You look at her build, you can see she wouldn't have the strength to lock Claudia Gadelha in any kind of damn submission. Come on, man. There's no way, and like, you could be the biggest fan of her you want to be, but you also have to be realistic when it comes to your favorites. Like, my favorite fighter, you know, is Claudia Gadelha. She's my absolute favorite. I love Claudia, you know, cauliflower ears and all. Love Claudia, you know, my favorite. Would love to meet her. She's beautiful, great. I wish she had a calendar. The bottom line is, Claudia right now, mentally, she doesn't have what it takes to get past Joanna. We all know that. I hate to admit it, but I have to be realistic. You know, I can't just be a fan and just say whatever. The fact is, she has flaws. You know, she got stuff she needs to work on. And Angela Lee, fan or not, she has stuff that she needs to work on, and a lot of stuff. And this whole unstoppable thing, I think, if she lets that go to her head, she's going to be the next Ronda Rousey. Because as soon as she gets in there with somebody who actually has a well-rounded skill set, it's game over for her. And I mean, like I said, these people here, come on, man. You know, half of these people probably, this fighting is a part-time job for them probably. I don't even know. I didn't look it up. But one championship is not, they don't really have anybody. And, you know, submission, technical submission, you know, I'm just not impressed with fighters who their whole thing is submissions. That, I mean, it's great that you can submit, like Valentina, you know, submitted Juliana Pena, great. But we also know that Valentina can strike. You know, Valentina can, you know, kick, and she has skills. We don't know what Angela Lee can do. We know she can get chipped up because in the second round of that first fight with May Yamaguchi, May dropped her immediately. And imagine if Claudia Gadelha had done that. It would have been game over right there. Imagine if Rose Namajunas had done that. We saw what she did to Michelle Waterson. Imagine if she had dropped her, not May Yamaguchi. Start thinking about some of the talent the UFC has in her weight class, and watch that first fight, and substitute anybody you want from the top 10 in the UFC in her weight class, and tell me you see her getting past that knockdown. It's game over. So, you know, who knows what the future will bring, but I'm just not buying the Angela Lee story, and I believe she's a hype train. That's all there is to it. Right now I gotta say a hype train, because again, these people are not known for doing too much of anything. I'll give it to Lena Therevska, but you know, and even her, you know, come on, dude, you don't know who these people are, and the worst thing, you don't even want to know. So let's just go ahead and call it what it is, and say that the jury's still out on Angela Unstoppable Lee. Her 8 wins, no losses, and 6 submissions.